Listen, alcohol is just out in 2024. There is a rising trend of going alcohol-free or being sober curious, and alcohol, the truth is, it's just bad for you and can famously impair your sex life. So if you're looking for another way to unwind, relax, or just have fun, I cannot recommend Via's THC gummies enough. Via has gummies for every occasion. Whether it's to improve your sleep, I love their sleep gummies. I take them everywhere. Your mood or your focus. They even have an aphrodisiac gummy called High Love to boost my arousal levels. High Love has a unique blend of cannabinoids and aphrodisiac exotic herbs that are known for their libido enhancing effects. So I've been using Via for a while now, and I absolutely love them. They're a super trusted company. They use premium hemp, natural ingredients, and they're known for their premium indoor THCA flower. All their products are made here in the US. They got quick and discreet shipping to all 50 states, so you can all enjoy them, not to worry. And also super affordable. So head over to viahemp.com and use code Emily at checkout to save 15% off your order. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Use code Emily at checkout for 15% off your order and let me know what you think. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. Tonight's show, we're going back to the bedroom basics part 2. This time we're talking hooking up, manual, oral, and beyond. Kissing, what not to do, because you know when you don't know what to do, that's a huge bummer. So thanks for listening and enjoy tonight's show. You know, one of the reasons why you're able to listen to the show for free is because of the incredible people at goodvibes.com. I love them. I bought my first vibrator there. They're the most amazing store, and they carry all the best brands. So you don't have to go and buy things that like you're not going to like, and they're plastic and they're bad for you and they're going to hurt you. These are the most amazing products. You can get the strongest, most orgasmic vibrator of all time, the Magic Wand, if you don't have one already. You can also get the Vibratex Girls, the Rabbit. You know the Rabbit. You've all heard of the Rabbit. You got to get it. So check them out at goodvibes.com. Just go to my website, sexwithemily.com. Click on the Good Vibes banner, and you'll see my favorite toys because you know I've tried them all. Coupon code GVEmily20. That's goodvibes.com.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com because, you know, that's where all the good stuff goes down. You can listen to all of our podcasts. We've got hundreds of them. You can also subscribe on iTunes, which is so easy, thousands actually, and you'll never miss another show again. You can also sign up for my mailing list because I don't want to brag, but I give really, really good email. In fact, random people who I don't even know are on my mailing list are like, oh my God, I love your emails. They're actually, I read them because like, who the hell reads emails? So check that out. And also follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram because that's fun too. That's all Sex with Emily. And also I'm here with Anderson.
Yo.
What up, yo?
What up, girl?
How are you?
What up, girl? You look good
Dude,
today.
Thank you. I had an entire conversation with you on the way over here. And
I wasn't a part of it though.
I know, but it was a really, really good one, and I had a lot of like philosophical thoughts on the way over here that I wanted to share because
Was I polite to you in this conversation?
No,
was that nice?
Well, that's the thing. No, well, okay. I had just gotten I was reading email and texting. I'm sorry, I text at traffic lights.
Do you receive good email as well?
I receive I hate email. Don't ever email. No, I'm kidding. Everyone, email me your questions. I love reading your emails. Feedback at sexwithemily.com. No, I actually hate email. I mean, I love my listeners' emails, but Anderson tonight. So everyone knows I host Loveline radio show Thursday nights, which you should all check out their podcast as well or listen to it. The point is, Anderson works there, and tonight sometimes we have guests on the show, and it was Taylor Momsen. She's
a lovely lady, very pretty girl.
She's already okay.
The Pretty Reckless. She's a lead singer for the Pretty Reckless.
Okay.
Long blonde hair, pretty girl.
No, she's right, and she was on Gossip Girl. The point is, she's already been on the. She's already been on the show before.
Right.
Like 6 months ago.
Are guests not allowed to come back?
No, they're not, but it was funny, but just whatever. So we had a whole thing, but now she can't come because she's sick or something. So it's really sad. But Anderson had gotten here early to set up the mics, and he sent a funny email about just like setting them up because we were trying to, whatever, and they're not coming. And it takes time because Anderson works really hard.
What's funny is I never do that, and I did it.
Know.
And it's Murphy's Law. It happens to me all the time.
It does happen to you.
I have not set up this early and been this prepared and made everything look so pretty.
I've never seen it. I thought you were like on speed or something. I'm like, why does this room look so nice and together?
And then I came back in here to get the email saying, hey, they're not coming because she has I'm doing air quotes, the flu.
The flu.
And
right.
It's not like I was trying to impress Taylor Momsen. I was just in the mood to do things right for a change. So never again.
You've been here for so long, right? You were angry. But the email was funny because I was like, God, we're all things, it's technology. So right now, so last week when I came in for Loveline, I was sitting there. I walked in and I was like, I don't know, probably digging in my bag, stressed about something. And I was like, oh, do you think Mercury's in retrograde? Which I'm not like one of these people who even... Like, what's your sign? But do you know about Mercury being in retrograde?
What?
Okay, I did live in San Francisco for a long time. So, okay, I don't even, like, Mercury in retrograde is like when things are really messed up. And I don't know why, because all my friends in San Francisco, it was a totally ironic joke because it's something that, it's like a Sanford, whatever. Like, everyone's talking about
What does that mean?
This is what I'm telling you. So, Mercury actually is in retrograde. So, do you know what that means?
It means that it can't ejaculate for a while.
Okay. No, it actually has nothing to do with sex. It means communication breakdown. It means that you shouldn't be making any big decisions right now, that everything's going to go wrong, that your technology is going to break down, that if you're going to get in fights with people, you're going to be annoyed. And it really means that you need to slow everything down during this time because it goes crazy. And it's like it's not like every year. It's, now I'm not even fucking doing this right because you know what? I was going to look this up before, but the point is because it was in the Huffington Post too. And I was like, oh, I was right. And I don't know why I said it. The point is, we have to friggin' all just chill out because everyone's all stressed out and worried about things all the time. And it's not healthy. And we were joking in the office today because, yeah, things are freaking crazy. But, like, look, like, you have a job. I have a job. I got to talk about sex, Like, that you get to work on, like, a famous radio show. And let's all just chill out because Mercury's in retrograde.
Are you talking to yourself or me? Or?
Talking to you.
I heard just, I think it was just today, and somebody was talking about how life doesn't give a shit if you live out your dreams or you're a happy person. As far as life is concerned, if you have a roof over your head and you're drinking fresh water, you're doing pretty good. Everything else is left up to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So
everyone just chill the F out.
I know, but I don't even know why. Because I thought you guys looked at me like I was crazy when I said that, and it's actually true. But I don't think about these things. I don't fucking know what it means.
Retrograde is true?
Yes,
no,
the
that's
retrograde
not
is true.
Really true.
No, it is true. Okay, whatever the hell it is, if you're all stressed out, and here's the point. Everyone's always stressed out. It's like, we are. So just chill. Because I am. I'm projecting.
It's funny because they did a study not too long ago about how people who live in India, and when people think of India, especially us Westerners, we know that the people in India don't have a whole lot of money. It's one of the most poverty-stricken places in the world, total third world, bordering on fourth world, right? And they have far less stress than us Westerners
Exactly.
have. And far less.
Far less and far less stress.
And far less stress.
It's true. No, it's absolutely true. And we are all just have to remember to be very grateful every day for everything that we have. And I know it sounds really silly, but like no matter what religion, no matter what kind of like I've been doing my meditation lately, it's like you should just
Have you been doing
thankful.
that?
Yeah.
Is that code for putting things inside your body that vibrate?
No, I haven't even been doing that because Mercury's in retrograde. I'm afraid that, something's going to go wrong. Just kidding. I do meditate.
Let go of
and
the
I'm
retrograde,
grateful for
right?
my listeners and I'm grateful for you. Okay, dude? I'm out of it. You brought it up again. I was done. Tonight we have a special guest on the show. We have Shira Lazar. She is the host and executive producer of the Emmy-nominated, which is huge, who has an Emmy, live interactive daily show and 24/7 news hub, What's Trending. She's awesome. I met her through mutual friends. She's really funny. Her channel's great. She knows what's trending, which I do not at all. So I am so glad that Shira's here with me.
You're the sweetest, Emily. And I have to say, a huge fan. One, I listen to Loveline all the time. Thank God for, the 4, 5, and the 10 and driving way too much in LA. At 10 p.m. and 10 or so, I always listen to you guys. You help through my drive. We met each other through your Bravo show. And then it was also, then I would listen to you. And so I was like, oh, this girl, this chick. Like, I always thought you were so cool. And then we bumped into each other at this random event in LA.
At my random office. That was
at
the
random
first day
office.
I moved to my office, which is not random, but it was a random party about something. You were on a panel, so it wasn't random.
And so,
and I was so glad to see you because, so Julia, I was on this reality show with this woman named
Julia Allison, who's a friend of mine I've known forever. She's in tech, but then social media, and she does it all. And we had met briefly, and then I watched one of the episodes where you went to Napa Valley with that douche.
Oh, yeah, David. Do you know what's so funny about that? That we are still good. We're good friends now.
That's nice.
I know, but he was a douche. But the way they cut it, this is Mrs. Vise. I was on a reality show a few years ago on Bravo.
That long ago?
2 years, 2012.
Really?
It's called Mrs. Vise. You can download it on iTunes for $4.99. Not that I'll make a dime of it, but you'll really enjoy the show.
I got really into it though. That in Silicon Valley because I knew the people.
Right.
So it made it different when you know the people.
Exactly. But wait, so Julie Allison, so she was on the show, and we know what were we saying. So then Mrs. Vise, then we saw the show. You saw the episode with the douche. So David and I are still friends. I was like, we're really good friends now. But they edited it in the end that he would seem douchey, but he really wasn't that douchey.
Was he unhappy about that? Was he like, Emily, why would you do
you want to
that?
hear that? Okay, this is a great tie-in to my show right now. This is actually a bad message.
I'm making you look like a bigger star than you are. This is all about I love
a lot.
I want to make you feel good.
I feel
positive
awesome.
vibes for Emily.
Oh my God, I actually because I let go of all of my tension and frustration on the way here.
And your Mercury
and
retrograde.
I walked in, I'm so embarrassed. I won't even ask your sign, but I feel so much better now. So I was going to say that David was on the show with me, and he looked like a jerk the way they edited it. And after the show, so if the show, it's like my high school boyfriend, or a guy I had a crush on in the 5th grade, got divorced. This is real, like reality. I'm talking about like it's a reality show. Got divorced. Hadn't seen him in years and years, but I had a huge crush on him for age 8 to 13. Anyway, my friend calls me. She's like, David Rubin's getting divorced. I'm like, oh my God, I love him. I've always loved David. We always joke about like Emily and David Rubin. So I go to Michigan. We have a date. We film it. It's on camera. We have like great chemistry. And then, but it's real. Like we really do. Like it's not bullshit. Like we really had chemistry, which is cool. So anyway, long story short, comes back. We do the Napa thing. And he lives in Michigan. I live here. Nothing was going to happen. He looks like an asshole, right? So after the show, the finale, everyone's like, oh my God, what an asshole, what a douchebag, because we get into this fight because he said something about like chasing tail or something. I don't even remember what happened.
Yeah.
Nice Jewish boy, went on to get like hundreds and hundreds of Facebook requests, friend requests from women in the area, in the Michigan area.
They wanted him after that?
Wanted to date him, and he ended up getting laid by several of these women because he was a douchebag on national television.
What?
And I feel like
So you empowered him to be an asshole.
I know. But the thing is, he's actually not an asshole. He's really like, but he's a confident, he's a good-looking guy, and I don't know what the hell. But I think that's just a funny story because that's just a wrong. Don't be a douchebag. I'm not saying that.
No, don't.
I'm just saying that it's funny that social media got him laid. So,
really
and
funny.
being on television. But he's actually, because maybe people saw a kindness in him. Who knows?
I always say when I see an asshole guy, I'm like, I know there's something better deep down there.
Right.
I swear.
But see, there isn't. The truth is, most guys, women, that's another thing. A lot of women. Have you ever done this before? Because, okay, tonight's show, we're talking about the bedroom basics. You're going to help me with this. Because I assume you've had sex and you're single.
What?
And last night. You know what's cool? Like,
What?
you live like So people listening, not everyone lives in L.A. Many of you are lucky because we probably would sit here and talk about the traffic for 20 minutes if you weren't listening. But that you're living like young, like single L.A., doing something cool. You go to like red carpets and you're like the single cool girl. So you know like what's going on and like what's trending is your show, right?
Yeah, I get
So
to meet new people
What's trending.com
every day.
and Shira Lazar.
Yes.
Lazar.
At
It's all on my
Shira
website.
Lazar. Yeah, check out
Twitter.
the website.
Check out our YouTube.
What'strending.com.
What'strending.com. And so you talk about like, so you really are in the like you can't even help it. It's like your job to be cool and go to cool things and know what's
It's my
trending.
job to be cool. Well, it's
Like that's perfect.
I'm in the trenches.
Mine says sex, but I don't actually have sex lately a lot. But you actually are cool.
I
So
actually
tell
do
me.
watch way too many viral videos, and I know way too much about social media and random news of the online video space. It's really nerdy. But I feel empowered by it.
But it's more tech based, right?
Well,
like,
it's not just tech. I look at online
You look at
video.
videos.
Is popular culture now. It's the new water cooler. It's what we're all sharing, and social media and this new generation of stars. Like I'm fascinated by this new talent. So I feel very fortunate because I hang out with everyone from 15-year-olds to 50-year-olds.
Right.
Which is also strange because like you see dynamics in relationships, and I was talking about how we're in a weird time because in the workplace, never before have you seen people interacting that are from 20 to 50? And that's going to change people and who's together.
That-
and
yep.
I feel like also it's
So
hard.
why do you think? Like, give me an example of that. Is it entertainment or
Well,
is it?
I don't know if it's maybe it's just in these industries.
Yeah,
but
tell me,
then
'cause
these
I don't know.
industries are popping up in other cities. You don't need to be in Hollywood
That's
to be in
the thing.
entertainment and new media and all that. You could be in any type of city.
Right, and there's someone for everyone. So you're saying people are stars at all 8 different ages now.
Well,
and so
I'm saying some of these companies, there's 40-year-olds or, all ages, but then they're working alongside these 15-year-olds or 20-year-olds who are literally very smart. They're marketing machines themselves. So it's not like, oh, you're cute, you're in high school. Like, there are people that are making careers in high school and making huge amounts of money. And then that just changes dynamics, right?
So are you seeing then a lot of like people hooking up like this age
Well, that's
gap?
why it's just awkward. Like I'll be, there'll be a Vine star that's like
A Vine
19.
star. People probably don't even know like Vine. It's an app that's
Vine,
6 seconds.
people
I did
make
one
money
Vine.
off
Oh
that.
no! But I'm
6
saying I'm just
seconds.
telling like a lot. We know what Vine is.
Yeah.
Not everyone. Like my brother in
Vine.
Michigan, who's like really smart and successful, does not know what Vine is.
So Vine is an app that Twitter started, 6-second videos. So if videos weren't short enough, they're getting shorter.
I did one. It was
Gotta do
hard.
More. It's fun. It's very creative.
Oh,
anyway,
it is
but there are
creative. Who's got
stars that
time?
have, as any platform has, there's stars that rise on that platform. There's these like 19-year-olds who is like Shira, and he's like, it's like just strange because you're interacting. Like I find I'm interacting with really young people, and they're like flirting with me, maybe, but you're not sure. They're really friendly, and you're like, this is weird. And it makes me feel like, oh, this is what guys feel like because guys are flirting with girls of all ages all the time.
Exactly.
But then and
Oh,
then
right. So it's confusing.
it's like
right, it's blurring
confusing,
the
and I'm
lines.
like, are you supposed to be? But like, you look a bit older, but I know you're younger, and you're like making money, so you have a career. It's a very
that
strange
is
gray
strange.
area.
Has there been any scandals in the
Well,
in the
there's a
world?
lot going on
Tell
with
me the
YouTube.
scandals.
There's a lot going on with digital stars that are over 21 guys specifically, and they're the wall and the gap between a celebrity and their fan is smaller and smaller, and fans can get in touch with their favorite
hang out, right.
stars, and so a lot of these guys that are in their 20s and like becoming stars, they have their fans get in touch with them. They don't know if they're legal,
right?
And there
Like,
are a lot
it
of
happened to
scandals.
what, James Franco was it? Who?
Oh, that was fun. I mean, yeah, supposedly he got in touch with this girl on Instagram
Yeah, he
and
was
was
like
like
17.
publicly commenting.
Yeah.
It was
But is that what you're
ridiculous.
saying? No, because here's the thing.
There's this
guys
guy-
used to be rock stars at concerts. So afterwards, they had the fans. But now it's like you can
that's
have fans
public
anywhere.
though. But then
But it's so great now because now you can get laid in all these different ways. I'm saying you could try to get. I'm
laid
saying
in,
a lot. Well, I know you
innovating the way we're getting laid.
I know you didn't. Seriously, I know you didn't. But I think you were cutting.
There's
all
more
their fans.
scandals, which is, I mean, there's a
more
lot
ways
of
to get
fun.
laid.
It's like a lot
Go
of fun
internet.
stuff, but then there's also the other side of it, which is saying that these 20-something guys who are getting all this attention suddenly, these are guys that were maybe losers,
Right.
No offense, or like
Don't you think
kind of
were they
loners.
losers? So here's my thing.
They were loners,
and maybe not getting laid either.
Yeah, maybe they weren't that typical dude
all need
that
to
were going to
listen
go
to
out of their way.
I think you said Juby.
But they're now getting a lot of attention. They're like, oh, I'm hot shit. And then girls start DMing them.
direct messaging.
Sorry.
No,
I'm
it's all
like,
the DM.
all these
you don't even need
buzzwords.
a phone number.
Or you just are
You just-
messaging, or they're meeting them in person. They're like, oh, this girl's cute. Yeah, let's meet in person. And they don't realize they're underage, maybe. And maybe they put on the moves and all that. And then the girl blogs about it or Tumblrs about it. Like,
Right.
oh, I hooked up with this guy. And then basically
Everyone knows
publicly.
your business now, right?
And it's illegal. And like these people can get put in jail. But it's like, yeah, because if you're
Yeah, of course.
obviously
No,
underage.
no, obviously that's bad.
And
But
there's this guy Sam Pepper specifically. One he did a video slapping girls' asses, and people considered that sexual assault. And
do
then
they let you?
but girls
slap
started coming out of the closet that he
Right.
had tried to hook up with them when they were underage,
Oh,
and they're fans, but like. Because they're like, oh, yay, I'm getting in touch with my
Right.
favorite star. And they're like, oh, yay, you're cute.
right. Or
Yeah.
he puts on the moves, or who knows?
Exactly. But it's a weird time.
That is a weird
Sorry.
time. But you are like making a living doing like that's kind of like the American dream. Like I'm just gonna make a really great video.
Do
and
it
I will
yourself. Yeah,
You gotta
do
do
the
it yourself.
DIY media movement. You don't need a company or a network to hire you. Like if you have passions and you care about something, you
Totally.
can make it happen.
Exactly. And if you have passions and so what was your
And
your- so-
you started your podcast.
Exact same thing. Started a podcast in 2005. I was thinking like I should. It's like almost 10 years. Like I should do something. I don't know what.
Like
a
now
10,
you're-
like a 10. No, I just thought about it. No, tonight when I was driving here, I'm like, wow, it's been almost 10 years.
We should have a party.
It's been so
Let's have a sex
hard.
party.
Look at me. I'm so stressed. I'm like, why am I let it go though? But like work, like I'm talking. It was so funny because it's like everyone thinks everything's so glamorous. I'm like, I talk about sex for like my friend was bumming out about her job. I'm like, I talk about sex for a living. I need to try out sex toys, and I get stressed that there's like 6 on my table that I haven't tried out. But that's real stress. It's like we're pretty good lives, you know.
Maybe
Like,
you should start. Yeah, I think every day you should make
Masturbate?
a conscious effort to be grateful for what you have. So yes, if you grateful for your vagina, grateful that you can touch yourself and give
that's
yourself
my job.
an orgasm.
I get paid to touch my vagina. I'm so psyched. So what about you? So do you touch your vagina? No. Okay, this is the show. We're gonna get back to the
when
basics.
I think about you, I touch myself.
Do you play with sex toys at all?
Yeah, I have sex toys.
Which one do you like?
Oh my god! Well, I need to get new ones.
Okay, I said you're coming to my garage.
Yes, but I'm open. Actually, Warren Sapp, when he was a guest on my show, he I guess has a friend that has a sex toy company. I'll hook you up too, but you probably know them. But he just like brought it. I've always been open about. Not open like you. I don't have a podcast. Sorry.
You don't talk about your vibrators, how they're alphabetized.
I mean, I would assume that people are open. I mean, have those things or have used them.
You don't talk about
we shouldn't be. No, but we shouldn't be ashamed.
More than 50.
Hello.
50, they're at Walmart. They sell vibrators everywhere.
Yeah.
And but people don't realize it helps. Exactly. But it helps. It helps make sex better.
Well, the whole thing is
people can't have orgasms. It's harder for women to sometimes have orgasms. But we're going to start with kissing. I'm getting ahead of myself. So the last show we did was back to the basics. And when we come back from the break, which we're going to take right now, is back to the basics. We talked about like the main cornerstones of sex, what you need to know. And this show has been extremely popular because we all need a fresher course. And you probably didn't even know in the first place. That's why I'm here to tell you. This is part 2. You're going to help me. But first, I love you all. And I love you all for supporting my show and my sponsors. But most of all, I love my No Pro. Because, let's be honest, as women, we spend so much time trying to move all this hair, unwanted hair, shaving, and men, you got your chest, and you're like, oh, is there a hair on my neck? And you're like, what do? Do I go get it waxed? Do I shave? And it's all annoying because you get bumps. But the No Pro is the best way to remove unwanted hair with no pain, 0 pain. It's so easy. It zaps the hair everywhere. Back, long neck hairs, legs, arms, face. It's so easy to use. I like to sit on my couch like watching TV, like taking off hair. Sure, don't you want a No? A No Pro, it has weeks of long-lasting results. No Pro comes with a 100% 60-day money-back guarantee. So you can even buy it and wait 60 days and be so psyched that your hair's not growing back, you won't even return it. But if you wanted to, you could. Also, you get a $50 gift card to an award-winning skincare line, which is actually awesome, too. The skincare line, it was like this tinted moisturizer that it felt amazing on my skin, and I love it. So you go to nonoemily.com. That's nonoemily.com. Also, the Fleshlight. The Fleshlight is the #1 sex toy for men, and it's probably the only one you want because, how's this? Women, we've got hundreds of sex toys to choose from. You've got your hand. And so all you think is, oh, my hand, that's all I need. But guess what? Fleshlight feels amazing. And every guy who's ever tried it has told me that, like, I had a guy who said he'd, leave his wife if it could cook, which I'm not trying to break up relationships, but it feels amazing. You can have the pleasure, you can feel the pleasure of having sex anytime, even when you don't have a partner, because the Fleshlight, it simulates the sensations of sex. It's like a male masturbation sleeve. So you can use your hand or you can use the Fleshlight, which feels amazing. Why not mix it up? And if you want to last longer, they have the Fleshlight Stamina Training Unit. So you can last longer, become a better lover, and have a great time. So check it out at sexwithemily.com and click on the Fleshlight banner, and then you get special fun things there. So sexwithemily.com and click on the Fleshlight banner. All right, Shira.
Yeah.
Bedroom basics.
I just got distracted by all those things.
I know. That was a lot of sex toys, right?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. But first, okay, let's talk about kissing for a second. Okay. So have you ever gone out with someone, like on a date, or, the first time and you thought things were great, or not the first time, whenever you got to the point in the relationship and you're like, I think we're going to make out. And you make out and everything's great till then. Like you already like picture like walking down the aisle if you do that kind of thing. And then you kiss him.
And you're like, oh.
He's like licking your face. He's like shoves his tongue down your like. Have you ever had kissing be a complete deal breaker?
You know what? That's why I tended to. There has to have drink. Like my first kisses, a lot of them were drinking because I'm such a good drunk kisser. I'm like some people are really sloppy. I feel like I am.
Although you're a good drunk kisser, maybe they're drunk too. The people you're kissing, so they think you're good. No offense.
You ruined it for me. Okay. When I was younger, there was like a rumor that I was a bad kisser because I bit someone. Someone said I bit their lip, which was a lie. I was sucking on their lip and. I was being experimental and cool, okay? Anyway.
See, you're a cool girl. You need to suck on the lip in 7th grade. No one knows that until I tell them right here on the show.
And then they said I bit it. That's BS, okay?
Right.
They just couldn't take
scarred you
my
for life.
edge. Anyway, but like, I feel like I hate the thing of like, you're a bad kisser. I look at it as a challenge of like, let's have them, let's move with each other. I tend to probably be the one that has a bit more of the empathy. So I
love that
tend to go with that person. And I hate the pointing of like, you suck or I suck.
Exactly.
I'm like,
it's the way you work together. I'm glad you said that.
And also, I think that one, if you just don't have sexual chemistry, you don't, period. I mean, you can't fake that. But if you are attracted and there's something there, I think it's just about slowing down. You're like, hey, this is nice. Like, and I think it's about you. It's just slowing down, really.
Exactly.
And taking the steps and like look at it as like a fun game instead of like, oh, we're not right away like attacking each other properly. Like our puzzle pieces don't fit.
Exactly. That is not a reason to write. So I'm going to say, I thought you might have because a lot of people I talk to.
Are you impressed with my sophistication?
I'm so impressed that you are not judgmental and you don't have a gross out story because I actually really don't either because I'm the same way.
Sometimes there's too much tongue though. Sometimes.
Yes, but you can, what I'm saying is don't let that be a deal breaker. The first time you kiss someone and usually the first time you have sex with someone, not as good. It gets better. Things can get better.
It gets better.
You hope so. But the first time the first time you kiss someone, it doesn't have to mean that it's like over because it didn't work. So when it comes to kissing, especially with someone new, I think that you got to start slow. Less is always more. Even if you're so turned on and you want to like devour them, I'm going to make this move. Just resist the urge because when you slow kissing down, then you can kind of get more into the vibe.
So I have a story of like, well, either it's too much tongue and you're like, or too little and you're like, give me something. Because it actually is like such a turn on when you kind of get something more, right? Because you feel like that person's opening up, you're opening up to each other. But I had something where someone that I did like.
But you got to like kind of follow each other.
But I did like this person and I gave him a shot of like our first kiss was really it was a bit awkward, like, oh, what do we do? Because they were a bit shy. And
what do you mean they were shy?
They were shy. They were a shy kisser.
The guy,
meaning
the
guy was shy,
okay.
like didn't put his hand.
He
like
was shy. Okay.
I'm used to guys that are like, come here, babe, or like being really overly aggressive.
So
you
you
don't
made
want to
the
be
first
too aggressive.
move?
Well, no, but he was like,
impressive,
no, he was like, let's kiss, and I was like, why are you at? Like it was just one of those things.
He
like
said, let's kiss.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
He said, let's kiss, and I was like, all right, and then it was one of those things. Like
I always say, don't ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness.
Typically,
wasn't that what they say?
Yeah. It was kind of cute, but then I was almost intrigued. Like, and I think typically maybe a girl would have been like, ugh, like, oh my God, why aren't they more aggressive? Or I want someone to like lay their hands on me. And I was kind of like,
it was sweet that he didn't attack you.
And then I almost like, I was intrigued because we had more of a kiss than a makeout session. And then it became a thing of like, I wonder what it would be like if we got to know each other more. It was like we were kids again.
So what happened?
And then it ended up like we ended up getting, like you kind of get to know each other. And every time you see each other, you kiss a bit more. It was like almost like a slower burn instead of jumping right into like this hardcore makeout session. And on the other hand, I've had hardcore makeout sessions with guys, and then I end up like sleeping with them right away, or like you right away hook up, do everything except have sex, and then you're like, okay, that happened. Maybe I shouldn't have done that right away.
Exactly. And I have to say, well, I'm wondering what your take is on that, because people always email me all the time, and I also love your emails, feedback@sexwithemily.com. I don't know if we're going to get to them tonight, but I love hearing from you. But I do get a lot of emails from people that do say that same thing, that they that they want to know, well, how long should I wait to have sex? And I'm like, there is no hard and fast rule. I'm not going to say 3 dates. People have like those rules, 3 months, 6 months.
Yeah.
I just think that you can't. No one ever got in trouble for going too slow. Let's just say that. And then, because what happens is if you have sex too quickly, and yes, we've all had one-night stands or hooked up on the first date. I have. I'll admit it. Raise my hand. But the best part about sex is that anticipation and getting to know someone, and that build-up and that tension and that sexual tension. And that part is so fun. So if you just squash it the first night, hey, you can stretch this out. But then also, when we have sex too quickly, oftentimes, especially as women, we get really attached quickly. Because many women, oxytocin, chemicals in our brain, and guys too. So then it becomes about the hot sex. We're going to have sex. We're going to have sex. And then when you stop having sex, as happens in relationships, at least your sex life isn't as fast-paced. Then you're like, oh, God, this person's awful. This person's it's probably a serial killer. You start Googling, you learn who they are. You wake up. And so it's like almost like when you first start having sex with someone, you're under influence of a drug.
I've had a bit of an opposite. So my last relationship, which I was with this person for like 4 years, we we'd known each other though, so all right, it was different. But it's not like we went on dates or anything. And it was one of those nights where we got wasted and ended up having sex. And then right away, it was like we were in a relationship.
Oh, really? Okay.
And but
right.
like,
no, I'm not saying that's happened.
but it was interesting. But like a lot of then and some women, but you have to just know yourself. You have to know the person,
right?
Right.
And nothing is hard and fast. Of course, that can happen too. I'm just saying if you're dating and you're not.
But at the same time, I do agree that one of the people in that dynamic will feel more serious about it once you have sex.
See,
and if
that's
it's consistent. If it's not just like one night stand, you're either like, okay, this was one
no,
night
I'm
stand.
glad it worked out for you.
But there will always be like in that circumstance where it's more than just the one night stand and you know each other, one of the out of the partnership, one of the two people will be into it for something more.
Just like friends with benefit situations. They work until someone's really into the other person and the person has a girlfriend. The other person doesn't care anymore. And like, whatever.
And it's just true. Sex does distract you because it starts being consistent
But there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, like, and you could get, I'm not saying this is, I'm just saying that's what I say is to wait. No one's going to listen. Like, I probably would see, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying as a rule, if you could think about it in your brain, you're like, I'm not sure. If you're not sure, then wait.
And you feel like you're going to be taken advantage of or like.
Because something to look forward to. Okay, so now I'm just thinking like it's
true.
I'm not saying that I could be having sex after the show. I could meet someone at a bar. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I haven't done it, but I hope so too, dude.
That'd be awesome.
I need to meet someone nice here in LA that I want to have sex with often, and who wants to play with my toys. So speaking of playing with yourself, okay. So now I want to talk about that was kissing. Oh, so what I want to say about kissing is if you do kiss someone, and let's say you like love everything about it, but the kissing isn't jiving. Something else you can do is say, okay, I want you first. Okay, babe, it's so hot. Wait, stop. I want you to kiss me the way that you want to be kissed. So like let's say we were together. I'd say, Shira, I'm going to kiss you the way I want to kiss. So then you get to say, oh, I want to kiss. And then I'm going to say, no, I'm going to kiss you the way I want to kiss. You kiss me. And then you get to know their rhythm and you let them lead. And then you kind of can learn from each other.
I like that.
If let's say everything else is great in a relationship, but the kissing, that's how you can fix it.
Or sometimes start with the neck, and then you just get turned on, and so you're not overthinking it.
Exactly.
So if you start with like nibbling and like doing little things, it'll be easier just to jump each other.
Don't you love the neck? The neck is like one of our most erogenous zones, especially for women and men. Anderson, do you like getting your neck kissed?
It depends on who's kissing it, Emily.
Your wife. Me.
Yeah, it's
you
nice.
almost slapped my ass earlier. Should I not say that?
What's that now?
Nothing.
What happened? What'd you say?
I said you almost slapped my ass earlier.
It's true. Well, you were bending over.
But it wasn't a sexual way.
Emily does this thing where she's constantly like rifling through her purse, and I felt like maybe if I slapped her ass, she'd stop doing that in front of me.
I always in my.
It's always time to go. And where is Emily? Like your head's like buried inside your bag.
I got so many because I live out of my goddamn bag. And also for you tonight, did not put my chia seeds in here because I knew you were going to make fun of me. I just want you to know.
Yeah, Emily comes in. You need to know this, guys. Emily comes in with this water bottle that looks like algae's growing in it. It does, and she sucks it down like it's okay.
Chia seeds,
or it's
they're
a
good.
Big
they blow up.
cup of cum.
Well, now that's what I'm going to think of when she brings it in.
Do you know that it
I
does
was
look
there.
like cum? It looks like I'm like that porn star who hoards cum, and it looks like that I'm. It looks like I'm.
It's like your
drinking
vampire
cum.
juice. It's like you're drinking blood. You're like, I'm a sex expert.
That would be so much better. It's such a better story if I was like, oh,
of
by the way,
Nope.
everyone, I've got a cum habit.
Hey, I can put up with a lot, but if you're just coming in here drinking like buckets of cum, we can't be friends anymore.
It gives me energy, Anderson.
You should totally sell that on your
I
site.
buy it on the black market.
Cum juice. All right.
Is it black cum?
No.
Only black dudes cum? That's what gives you energy. Jewish cum probably makes you lethargic.
From what I've been told, what'd you say?
Nothing.
Jewish cum makes you lethargic. No, Jewish cum makes you neurotic and cheap. Okay, just kidding. Not all cheap, just neurotic.
Yeah.
No, we were just talking about that. I'm like, everyone's neurotic, but there is a certain, like, my friend calls it like the Jew gene.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm
right?
there. I'm a Jew.
No judgment. I'm a Jew too, but it's like, okay, so now we're going into manual. We're talking about the basics. We got kissing, but here's the thing: manual stimulation. When was the last time you gave a hand job? Shira, be honest.
I give hand jobs. I like giving blowjobs. I'm a blowjob person.
Okay, you want us to skip to the blowjob section?
No, I don't.
Okay, because we're working
I
off
think
here.
it's
Hand jobs to blowjobs. So if you,
I
if
think
you
it's
don't,
important. One, I think
because
that
people don't often give. I feel like they've like. I'm
your
trying
arm,
to bring it back.
Listen, it's a lot of work. Your arm starts hurting. Sometimes.
Yeah, it does. Well, but you use a lot of lube. Here's
no,
my
it's
thing.
not your hand.
I think
it's
the
your
hand
arm.
job,
Like my arm doesn't. Now I'm doing P90, so now I have better muscles.
Okay, you should go
But
find a guy and give him a killer hand job with your
skinny
P90
fat person
biceps.
that was not strong, and so doing that would be like, oh, so I'd have to like change.
You will not get winded during a hand job now.
Alternate hands. Hand job always feels like so high school.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is what I'm saying. I want to bring the hand job
but it's important.
back.
I think I think
not exclusively.
Foreplay,
I'm not going to replace it with the blowjob. People, don't get worried. I just want to bring it back into because. Here's the thing, guys, like I can do it, it feels good, but if you use like two hands, lube, you can touch a guy's penis in a different, like, yes, he touches it every day, but it's like the fleshlight. It's like buy a fleshlight or like have someone else touch your penis.
I'll be honest, I think that foreplay is always like we focus on foreplay for women because it's like we need this much
I was
to
going
get
to that
turned on.
next.
And we forget about, actually, I think the men have been forgotten about.
I think you're absolutely
in terms
right.
of that, because we're like, oh, they'll just be happy with sex, so we don't need to do all that other stuff.
Right.
Where I think if a woman goes out of her way to do those little things, I actually think a guy you're a keeper.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that he's a keeper. Wait, she's
no. I think the girl's a keeper.
You're a keeper.
If you're willing to do the little
things, and he should, and you're right. And so that's why I'm talking about the hand. I'm not saying again because I've
and have fun with it. It becomes a thing of like, oh,
5 years ago on my show, I had like the hand job debate going on because with Menace, who has been on my show for years, like we had this thing back and forth, and he's like, no one wants a hand. I'm like, no, but like, I'm not saying instead of a blowjob. And then my whole audience thought I was like trying to like say no blowjobs and only hand jobs.
It's about having fun though.
Use your okay. So this is how you do it. Lots of lube because you don't want to tug. You don't want to hurt someone, a man, if he's not lubricated down there. Because it hurts to rub it without, just go down there and you don't really, know.
Well, that's why you don't rub it. Don't you just move it instead of rubbing it?
Well, you move it. Okay, so thank you very much. You got to get a grip. The first thing, make an okay sign with your hands. You can wrap. You can do it around your Starbucks thing here. Wrap your finger. That's too big. I have something to do. Wrap your fingers around his penis with your index finger or middle finger meeting your thumb. Got it? This okay grip will allow you to travel the full length of his penis.
Do you know what I've learned recently? I just ask. I go, I want to watch you touch yourself.
Give a hand job? Oh.
And then I say, oh, I want to watch you because every guy has a different way of liking it.
Yes.
They'll be like, oh, I like it more pulled up and like the tip.
It's called mutual masturbation. Do it on the second date and then you learn everything.
I say, ask him like, am I doing it properly? Or like do it in front of me? And then you would actually learn a lot.
You would learn. No,
it's education.
Mutual. It's called mutual masturbation. And I often... no, not ever. See what I mean? Okay, so
instead of just being like, rubbing it off, like, oh, it's like a chore.
Exactly. And so, right. You're like, what am I doing? But here's the thing: imagine every guy touches every woman. You put 100 women in a room, and you're like, they're all masturbating. Every single one of them will be touching themselves in a different way.
But we always think guys just want it the same.
But they don't.
Every guy also does it differently.
Their balls touched. Some guys want their shaft touched. Some guys the tip's really sensitive. So, whatever. So there's lots of different things. And mutual masturbation is a great way to start. So I always say, like, it's so hot because you're watching each other, but you're getting yourself off, and you're learning about what your partner likes and how she or he
have them
touches
put your hand on it and show you. Yeah.
Right. So, but if you're going in lube free, go gentle and slow. And the number one mistake that women do make during hand jobs, do you know what it is?
Tug of war.
Tugging. Tugging is the number one mistake. So
Tug of war.
Think of a hand job as a penis massage. You're trying to pleasure like the muscles underneath, not like tug the skin.
Yeah,
on top.
be slower and tighter and grip and like pull up a bit.
Exactly. Right. Good, honey. So you've given a hand job. Right. Pull up a bit.
Wow. I'm like impressed with myself.
I know. Seriously. Do you know about the sausage wrap?
Oh, like this? Wait, I was like doing it, but no one could see what I'm doing.
You know what? Yeah, that's the double-handed. But I'll just because you took a guess, I'm going to say yes. But if you wrap all your fingers on and you use both hands, and there's lots of lube, and you go both ways. Mm-hmm. So here I'm saying, and then you could go back and give him a blowjob. It's like a way to mix it up, or sometimes
because you get tired, so you need to mix it up.
You got to always be mixing it up. Guys get tired too performing oral sex on women. So I'm saying just go down there. That's another way because guys aren't always. Okay, yes, usually they are turned on when we're having sex. But a lot of times they're not. And they might need your help a little bit. And they might not. They can't start having sex. And you think, well, I'm going to go right to a blowjob. Start with a little lube. Mm-hmm. Start to give him a hand job. And then you can work into the blowjob, which I was actually going to move into. I'm going to do this next week because I'm just going to. I talk about it a lot. Oral going down on a woman, which I do a lot on my shows. So I'm just going to stick, since I have a woman here, to the blowjob tips. I want you to be here for it. So I'm actually going to put the oral sex on women, cunnilingus, as we call it. Who calls
the cunnilingus?
The cunnilingus. Okay, so for women, so this is the back to basics show because I feel like there's lots of stuff. Like, how did you learn how to give a blowjob?
How did I learn? I think I've been in a nonstop, I think, relationships, so I got to know people, and then by asking, like, what do you want? What do you like? And I think about enjoying it, like enjoying turning someone on, being turned on by turning someone on, and not just thinking about myself. And then, I have watched porn, like as a woman.
What do you like?
Well, I don't like specific things like, but like more just like I'm aware
do you watch
of
women
the landscape.
lesbian porn, or do you watch men, like men and women?
I've watched it all, but like, and so
what
that's
turns you
like
on the most? You're evading. She won't answer. Okay, so
no, I will.
Okay,
wait,
good.
yo, you got jumped. I'll answer. What turns me on the most? Mm-hmm. I think I like when I do see, I think, a guy involved, because it makes me feel like, it reminds me of a scenario I could be in. Do you know when and I actually learned this from Loveline. Oh my God. Wait, sorry to bring that up. But
okay, no,
when I feel like
I'm
I'm not sure about this, or like, you're stressed, you're like, I can't get into this for some reason, you're overthinking it, you're like not wet enough or into it enough. I think Drew might have said this years ago.
Okay. He's actually here. Dr. Drew's here. He's going to hear this.
He said, imagine yourself like you're in a porn, or like imagining someone else doing that on someone else. Like, wouldn't you be turned on if you saw someone getting that done to them?
Right.
And then I think about that as if it's this like existential, like I'm watching myself, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty hot.
So that's amazing, Dr. Drew. Like, I mean, I know he's helped like millions of people's sex life, but
no, but I literally think about
exaggerate, but I probably do think it is millions. Yeah. That's amazing. Now you're
start
able
imagining myself like visually, and I know women aren't as visual, but I'll be like, that is so hot that they're touching me in this way. Like, instead of it being like, what does that feel like now, or like I'm not into this enough, I start visualizing it as someone else.
So like when you're giving him a blowjob, you're thinking, God, this is really hot, because what if someone else was seeing, and then you realize how erotic it is?
They're doing something to me and I'm like, I don't know, but I'm like, then I think about it as I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, that's kind of hot though.
Right. That's good.
Just for the record, guys, Drew's in here saying that you guys got it completely backwards, and he never said anything remotely
Did
like
he really?
that.
Tell him to come in.
He said that guys like to imagine that they are the guy that's in the porn.
Oh, no, but that's true. No, that is true. But we're talking about actual sex. No, he missed it. Drew, you probably...
I feel like everyone missed everything.
No, what happened was, we're talking about that she heard on Loveline, a woman was calling up and saying she wasn't turned on.
Yeah, and she's having... Or no, was that... Oh, I thought that was... Maybe it was another thing. Someone...
Was it Dr. Phil?
No. This is... What you're saying is
maybe
right.
It wasn't Drew that said it, but it's true.
He missed it. It's not porn. It's that women... that you visualize. So if you're not turned on.
If I'm not feeling turned on, it's not about not being turned on by the scenario. Right. I'm like stressed or overthinking it, and I'm not wet enough. Sometimes by thinking of myself, like visualizing what's happening to me, I'm like, wow, that is hot. It's like a realization. This is a hot moment to like appreciate it and just like enjoy like what's happening and who's touching
and get
me
into
and
your
the
body.
things. Yeah,
exactly. So I do believe that somebody would say that on Loveline. Would Dr. Drew like to?
Now he's backtracking and saying, "Yeah, I probably said that."
See, Drew. Okay, right. See, because he jumped.
No, and that does help. And I find
it's true.
Actually,
out of your people are so in their heads, like. They're so worried about it, and they're not. And just try to feel what's going on in the moment.
And
wow,
like,
he's worshiping my body. He's making me
like
feel
if I was
good.
watching that, maybe that's like. And porn is a weird thing for me because then I have had guys in my life that I'm like really into and really like who are really into porn, and then I've had some that aren't, and then I'm like, and then it's strange gray area, the balancing act of how much porn is healthy.
That's true. That's a big.
At the same time,
issue.
I've had some of the best sex or experiences I've had is when I've watched porn with my significant other.
No, it's awesome. I mean, I always tell couples if you're, God, I mean, there's so many different things. Obviously, people can have a porn habit and it can be destructive in relationships, but. It feels like it's like this dirty secret that the guys are like hiding in the basement, but your partner might be into it. Do it together.
Do it sometimes
Find
with
porn
them
together that you like.
We like. So I had met.
And it turns you on. Like women are like, oh, he does it. He likes it inside of me. No, he has to do it. It has nothing to do with you, and you can even do it together. And everyone's just relax.
I met a porn star, and the next day. And she tried to have a threesome with
you. Did you have you had a threesome?
She tried to have a lesbian experience with me.
Did you have one?
I didn't, and I should have done it with her because I always say if I'm going to have a lesbian experience or a threesome, it needs to be with a girl that's going to give me attention because I can't deal if she's giving the guy attention.
Oh, so it's all about you. That's how the threesome should be.
Anywho, but the next day I ended up watching with that person at the time porn with her, like in it.
Wow. So then did you tell him the story that you could have had a threesome?
Well, they knew. Yeah, he had been there the night before.
Do you want? So have you had one before?
I have not, but I think so.
It's on the list.
I think it would be. I mean,
if
I'm not
about
opposed
you
to it,
right?
But yeah, there. I feel like if it's another girl that I'm like, oh, she's hot and she's into the guy I'm with, I would start getting in my head about it.
So let's
go back to
basics. It's a great thing. Let's go back to basics. So oral sex. So you said you learned, you've been around the block.
I think it's just I'm a huge slut. No, I'm kidding.
But I think you made a great point that enthusiasm, how we started this whole thing was being into it. That across the board, if a guy's performing oral sex on us or we're on him, if we're not into it, we're not excited, we're not enthusiastic,
and enjoy it,
and be into it. And so that was a great tip that Dr. Drew gave, either did or not give years ago, about that. Even if you can get into and think, God, I'm giving to this person, like it's like worship the like so many women, they say don't like performing oral sex, don't like
I find
blowjobs.
that really interesting.
And it's like, how can I've written lots of blogs and talked about this on my website. Is that you have to you have to change your mindset about that this is someone you love, like whatever and their penis is an extension of their body.
Yeah, you're turning them on.
You're turning them on. You're pleasing them. And then it comes back to you if you can get into the mode of like being.
I think
into and just like take it like it's you're making out with their penis.
And don't think of it as the steps. Like, oh no, I'm gonna lick up. Just be like, I have this thing. I'm gonna just be like,
devour it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be slow and tickle, and then maybe go a bit faster, and then. Just enjoy it,
right?
And then be turned art. Yeah, be turned on by the fact you're turning someone else on.
This is what
take your power.
This is what I have to say is that's the magic key. There is that the ability to get turned on because you're turning someone else on. I think there are people who miss that sexually.
And by the way, if you give a good blowjob, you will keep that person there. You will have the power. Let me tell you.
How do you know you give a good one?
They tell you, or they could be lying. But if they're consistently asking you to give them a blowjob.
Okay, so what's your top tip then?
It's like, I think that I enjoy it. Like, I'm really into it. And so.
Honestly, that is probably
and
the
they see that and they're like, oh my God.
Because they really do.
Because there's this idea that a lot of women don't like it.
Right.
So I think when guys see a woman that they're with that likes it, they're like, wow, this is amazing. This is like a miracle.
Right.
And I think
most girls are like, okay, and they lick it or they do it.
No, and like actually spending time down there and like not feeling.
How do you feel about balls?
I'm like licking and tickling and all that. And
I have like post-traumatic ball disorder. Like,
why?
Because I once heard I heard a guy's balls when I was like, I don't remember. It was
you
a long
hurt
time
them?
ago. I didn't mean to. I did something. He's like, and so then I didn't touch balls for years. Like I forgot. I blocked them from my brain.
Oh no!
So I must have I thought I gave good blowjobs, but I think I just avoided.
But that's okay. Sometimes I hurt.
But some guys don't like their balls touched. Hopefully, those are the ones I was dating.
I know that too. Yeah, but you have to lick up and down. I mean, we could get into it.
No, we can get into it. Lick. All
right, so you want me
to be wet? Yes.
So typically, I might even start like I'm kissing the neck, and then I kiss the chest, and then all the way down, while sometimes playing with balls, and then you lick up and down the shaft, and then you hold, and then it's like a bit of a hand job with your mouth.
Right, hand job
with the
mouth.
The tip, guys like the tip.
The tip is the most sensitive part of that, and the frenulum, the front of it, right beneath the tip. Which I've talked about a lot. It's true, the tip is the most sensitive
But
part.
then enjoy it, and then it's like don't go too. It's like you'd be surprised, guys. While they might touch themselves really fast, like sometimes if you do it too fast, it almost feels numb, and they won't really feel it.
Yeah,
so
you want
have
to
change it
variety.
up.
Just like when you're performing oral
and
sex.
then just ask, like, do you want me to do it softer or harder or faster? I think it's about asking, because every guy is different. I think that women underestimate how different guys are because it's always assumed that women are the different ones. But guys have their preferences too, and some guys, love their balls being touched, some don't. I mean,
it's true.
That's what I've realized.
You can't know until you try, until you mix it up. Eye contact sometimes, make a little eye contact. Do you ever do that?
Yeah.
Or do you not want to look?
No, I do. I mean, I once again, I feel like it's like a control. I have a bit of maybe control issues. Like I feel like I'm taking charge, and I'm like, oh
that's
yeah,
though that's great. That you are taking charge,
and
I think for men who are always put in charge, and we always expect the man to have the right moves. The man's got to ask us out. The man's got to know exactly how our vagina works, even though every single vagina is different. We don't give credit. Like we don't try to figure them out as well. So it's.
But I've also gone with age. Like I would never did the sounds. Like I was a silent type.
Oh,
and then recently I started being like, yeah, like almost just more like to hear myself. Yeah, like it's the porn thing. I think it's like the idea that I'm in a porn or something.
Oh, okay. You think you got it from porn because
no, but I'm in a porn. Like I'm imagining myself in my own little porn.
That's awesome. That's you know what I'm telling you. To hearing auditory, like I love the sound. I mean, I think a lot of
but not too much.
I need you for a second. Let's take his headphones on. Okay, women and sex, making noises, making
Not
sounds.
too much.
How do you feel?
It's got to be authentic. It's got to be
needs to
real, and
yeah,
you
can't
cannot
feel
be
like trying too hard.
performing
Guys
for me.
like,
But can you how can you tell if she's performing? Because I have a friend who's like in his 40s dating someone in his 20s. He's like, every girl I sleep with, it's like I'm sleeping with a porn star.
Well, they probably are. They're probably watching the porn, so they're probably trying to emulate what they hear.
Women, they're faking like that. This is how it's supposed to be, and this must feel good when he's jackhammering me, even though I'm in pain.
You hate the jackhammer.
No,
if you and I ever
hate
find
it.
ourselves in a weird place where we have to have sex, I will not jackhammer you. I
Thank
promise.
you. It's so sweet, Anderson. That's really kind of you. I appreciate that. Anderson will never jackhammer me. No one will if they ever listen to the show. He's a good person. He takes care of me. Okay, so. But if you're on desert island,
but I mean, I think it's more like I'm comfortable with myself and I have fun with it. It's just more having fun with it.
It's true. It is confidence.
But then there's the line of like, people trying it too much because we're all being influenced by porn these days. Like the younger generation specifically, and everything's so accessible. They think that's the way to have sex and like be accepted in the bedroom.
Exactly,
and that's
what upsets me. So but the thing that I love that you're saying, Shira, is that you have this very authentic sexual. Voice and sexual awareness.
Putting myself on this bed.
No, I'm being honest with you that there's a lot of women who wouldn't have who don't get that. They're like, oh yeah. I mean, I could have just as many women sitting here going, I hate giving blowjobs. I'll do it. I'm married. I stopped doing it. The day we walked down the aisle was the last time I got a blowjob. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you get that is like you're making love to him. It's part of him, and and that you can get yourself into it, and you're turned on by it. And it wasn't something maybe you were born with, but you Dr. Drew told you to do it, and then you learn to love it. So even if it's something that you're not into now, people can still learn how to get in the moment during sex, and you say that you do that as well.
And people feel insecure, I think, if they either weren't into it in previous relationships or, were told like this isn't good. And so, they don't touch that area anymore.
Exactly.
And you have to stop judging yourself, and every person is a new person to like jump back in.
That's what I always say. It's like first time you sex someone, it's like it's a new opportunity, new chance. And sure, there's certain things like I always say, like go slow. Pay attention to what your partner wants, but really, it's a clean slate. It's a whole new person, different body.
Ask questions. Like,
how do you ask though? Like, give me.
I'll just be like, "How does this feel? Does this feel good? What else can we do?"
Do you say like, "How does this feel?" Or do you go, "How does this feel?" Do you
text
him?
I'm like, East Coast.
Text him, "Hey, what's trending?" East Coast. How does this feel, baby? How does this feel?
Tweet me. No, I'll just
tweet
be like,
me. How does this blowjob feel? Tweet me now.
I'll be like, "Is this good?" Or no, I'll be like, "How does this?"
Okay,
I'll be
so
like,
noise and
"How
sex.
does it?" Oh, what else do you want? Does this feel good? And sometimes I'm like, stop asking me. God, it feels good.
Right. No, but it's true.
You don't want to be
neurotic.
neurotic.
I think it's sexy to hear. I think that also sound a lot with guys. Like I have a friend, and he was so afraid that his neighbor. He's been watching porn lately. He moved into an apartment building. He always watches porn, but the neighbor's walls is so close. So he watches porn without sound for like the last 6 months, and he's like, and it's so disappointing. And then he realized he could just put his headphones in, and like it took him like 6 months to realize now like the porn again is so much better because the sound is part of
Yeah, but then there's the balance though. Too much sounds like like
everything in moderation.
But
guys, I like guys to make some sound too. Like I was with a guy once who was like, "This is how I knew you." Like I didn't even know you orgasm. Like I had to like have like the music off. Like I couldn't breathe. It'd be like. I was like, "Did you just like?" He was like, "It was so just." I mean,
you want to feel like there's some communication.
How do I know? Like, I think that was an orgasm. It was so annoying. We'd like not again. It doesn't have to be extreme. You have to be screaming, yelling, and moaning. But like, let me know that you're into it.
Like,
right?
Or
talk dirty to me, which was what we were going to get to next. But we actually have to wrap up.
Oh, we could do this forever.
I know. See. I know. I love it. I have been doing it forever. And Shira Lazar, what's trending? We didn't even get into like what's trending in sex.
I don't know
but we got
this
into
is
what's
like
trending
my
in your
other.
sex
I don't.
life.
There's no point of. That's my professional stuff. This is more my.
Okay, let's talk about where people can find you and check out all of her awesome stuff on YouTube, your website. Give it all.
Yeah, youtube.com/whatstrending.com.
You're
Shira
talking
Lazar.
really fast. What's trending?
No, I'm so hyperactive because I've had so much caffeine. I'm on this crazy exercise diet. That's all I can do.
ShiraLazar.com.
ShiraLazar.com. Whatstrending.com.
It's all on my website. You can
go
check
to
that
the
out
website.
There. Go. And Anderson, you're awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thanks,
everything.
sweetie.
And I have to say one more thing that's really
Oh
important.
yeah, the Film Vault. Thanks.
The Film Vault podcast was about what
We did
this
top
week?
5 most best disabled characters on film. It was a good one, a fantastic one.
Okay, everyone check out his podcast. One more thing I have to say, I spaced this at the beginning. I am teaching a back-to-school hustler workshop, and it's in San Diego. It's on October 25th. So RSVP, feedback@sexwithemily.com. And my first Hustler workshop that I did in Los Angeles was like 250 people there.
That's
it was
awesome.
crazy. And it's for men, women, couples. I'll be in San Diego at the Hustler store. Again, it's October 25th at 3 in the afternoon, 3 to 5. I think it's a Sunday. So check that out.
Did you
and
title
me on
it?
Facebook and Twitter.
Did you title it Back to School?
Yeah.
That's a little questionable.
Oh, I didn't write that, but just
A little
now.
questionable.
No, my assistant. I did not write Back to School. No, I didn't actually write that.
It's a bit questionable,
okay, I
right?
don't mean but that. Oh, thanks, Anderson, for calling me out.
It's all right. It's
Now I'm gonna
October.
get
If it was
angry.
September, that'd be weird. Like Back to School sex shop.
Whatevs. Kids, it's in the college town, okay? There's going to be a lot of students there. I'll teach
Sure.
you a lot
School goes into
how to
adulthood.
blow his and her mind. Okay, everyone, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I love you all. Thanks so much for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the show. We taught you a lot on the show, didn't we? But did you know that 1 in 3 men suffers from premature ejaculation? Or maybe you just ejaculate a little bit before you want to. And think about this. If you try Promescent, it's a delay spray. So basically you spray it and you last twice as long on your. So have you ever had a guy go too quickly, Shira? A little bit too quicker than you wanted?
Sometimes, yes.
So Promescent helps you last twice as long. Thousands of urologists are recommending Promescent, the only FDA-approved treatment for premature ejaculation. And it's so how it works, quickly absorbing delay spray that allows you to have the sex you want. So like you can still feel your partner, but you just last a little longer. So check it out at promescent.com. Thanks for listening. Buying a car can be such a stressful experience, but TrueCar is changing car buying forever. TrueCar actually helps car buyers get rid of the fear that they might overpay, and that fear is the worst. Last month, over 45,000 cars were sold by the TrueCar Certified Dealer Network, and TrueCar.com users save an average of $3,046 off MSRP. So, when you're ready to buy a car, you just gotta follow these 3 easy steps that if you want to save money. First, go to TrueCar.com and find out what other people paid for the car you're looking for. Then register at TrueCar.com to see upfront pricing information, and then you lock in your savings. Third step, totally simple. All you do is you print out your TrueCar savings certificate, and then you take it to the TrueCar certified dealer for a better, hassle-free car buying experience. Who doesn't want that? Some features not available in all states, and every day, TrueCar.com users receive negotiation-free, guaranteed savings. Save time, save money, and never overpay. Why would you do that? Visit TrueCar.com today. That's TrueCar.com.